What's good, y'all? We are back for episode 5 of our Philly 10K build series, and today I want to go over my strength training principles for both the general population and runners. I think everyone's an athlete, whether if you just go on day-to-day about your life, you still have a body, you still have the ability to take care of it and perform at your daily tasks in an exceptional manner. And then for my runners out there, we have some specific training principles that we can, exercise for, and that's going to enhance our ability to perform on race day and our training and just in our everyday routines as well. So we're going to start with the general population, and the first principle is going to be focus on your foundation before building complexity. Now that includes working on your stability, that includes working on your core strength, and that's really working on all of the little things, the form, the technique, the correct muscle activation, so that when you add complexity to your training, you'll feel much more comfortable with the movements and you'll be setting yourself up for greater success while reducing your risk of injury. And for our second principle for our general population, it's going to be to focus on more than just your favorite muscles. It's definitely easy to focus on the muscles that you see in the mirror, or maybe just focus on the muscles that you want to see get bigger or that you may want to see more tone in. However, it's really crucial to work on every muscle group that you have, from your feet going all the way up to pretty much your shoulders, your traps, your neck, as you're going to be much more stable within your day-to-day life, within your day-to-day training, and you're also going to be able to greatly reduce your risk of injury. And yes, you can spend maybe a little bit more time, or maybe it's your back, maybe it's your chest, maybe it's your glutes and hamstrings for the ladies out there. However, you're definitely going to want to make sure you're training your body as a whole and not neglecting any one part. And our third strength training principle for the general population is going to be to focus on using free weights and machines. Now, you can get benefits from both. A lot of times people may just go one direction. However, if you're using free weights, you can really work on your stability, your proprioception, and also your full body control and awareness. And if you're using machines, you can work on isolation, you can rehab from injuries, and you can really work on your form. They're really good for beginners too. If you're just getting into strength training, you can learn how to correctly engage the muscles. So next up, as we shift to our 3 strength training principles for our runners, the first one is going to be taking a bottoms-up approach, which pretty much means strengthen up the plantar fascia, or the bottoms of your feet, and then from there working on ankle, knee, and hip stability to really reduce your risk of injury and make you a much more stable and controlled runner. You're also going to want to work on your calf and Achilles strength, as it helps with propulsion. And then also these two muscles, or these two areas of the body, really take on a lot of the load from the repetitive contact with the ground when you're running. So taking that bottoms up approach would just to help to shore up things from the bottom of your kinetic chain. And moreover, our second strength training principle for runners will be to focus on lower body unilateral strength. Now, this is going to really help to effectively build strength and build muscle and endurance within the quads, the hamstrings, and the glutes. Or the quads are key for stabilizing the knee. The hamstrings or glutes will help support the hips, and also to help with propulsion, to help you push forward and generating more force and power when you're running. And our final principle for runners is just going to be to prioritize trunk strength. Now, this will mean, making sure that your rectus abdominis and your obliques and your transverse abdominis are very strong. Just to go over those quick muscles, the rectus abdominis is pretty much the six-pack abs that you'll pretty much see in pictures. The obliques are here on the sides. You have an internal and external obliques, and you also have your transverse abdominis and other deep stabilizers closer to the lower back. Transverse abdominis runs this way, and these muscles are key for one, keeping you balanced, helping you to maintain your posture, preventing low back pains or low back injuries, and they just make you a much more efficient runner when you're out on the road, track, or in your competition. And I do want to point out that a lot of these principles can overlap. Those who are runners can definitely utilize the principles for the general population, and those of the general population can also utilize the principles for runners, and you'll just make yourself a much more strong athlete. Again, everyone's an athlete. Everyone has bodies, has muscles, and has the ability to perform and move on a daily basis. So make sure that you really take this information, you apply it. And I want to shift to now giving you 3 exercises that'll work well for runners and the general population. So let's get to them. So one of my favorite exercises for both the general population and runners will have to be the seated leg extension machine. It's a very effective movement for strengthening up the quads, which can help to build some support around the knee joint. And knee injuries are very common amongst individuals in the general population and runners. So to set up for this movement, you're going to pretty much set the chair up to the proper distance from the chair, and then also the front portion. I like to put it on the medium setting, and this machine has like a 5-through-1 setting on the side. I'll put it on number 2, and then I'll do like 6 or 7 on the back. Just make sure that it's resting right above your ankles, and as you lift up, you're not getting any shin pain. You're able to actually fully extend your legs. So you'll be here, nice and set, sitting back, core is braced and tight. You're just gonna kick up, extend, and squeeze the quads, and then coming back down controlled, and then kicking back up, really getting a good squeeze at the top to really lock those muscles out, and coming back down. What I really like about this movement here is that you're able to really target the quad within the middle head of the quad. So as you kick out, really get great activation, and then coming back down nice and smooth. So that's going to be one exercise that's going to be very beneficial for both individuals in the general population and runners. All right, so my second movement that I would like to, really highlight for both individuals in the general population and runners would be the deadlift. Now, you can do this with a kettlebell, you can do this with a trap bar, you can go with a straight bar. My favorite personally is the trap bar, and if I'm working with beginner clients or even just a new client who may have gotten into some strength training a little bit, depending on where they are, I may still start them on the kettlebell just so we can work correct form and muscle activation. But I really love this movement because it helps to strengthen up the hamstrings and glutes, and also to stabilize within your back. And it's a great compound lift to engage the core, to engage the legs, and to just build full body strength. So you're going to set up over top of the kettlebell, or if you have a trap bar around you, you pretty much just want to have a nice strong base, feet are about hip width apart. You're going to hinge back, keeping your chest up a bit. So a little different from a squat. You really want to push the hips back into this movement. You're going to kind of break the horns apart, at least set your shoulder blades together or squeeze them together to lock down your core. You're going to push through your heels to the top. Hips go back as you go down. You're going to tap and then pushing back up and then back down. But if you look at that movement for individuals in the general population, if you were to pick up a box, you're going to use your hamstring glutes to help pick the box up. You're going to use your core to brace. Same thing we practice with the trap bar or kettlebell deadlift. And for runners, strengthen up the hamstrings and glutes. That's just going to help with propulsion and being able to create more force as you're running. So really effective movement for both groups of people. Okay, so we're going to go through one last movement that's going to be very effective for both the general population and our runners, and that's just going to be a simple elbow plank. Now, you can make this harder by adding some weight on your back. We're just going to go through the basic fundamental foundation and form. A very effective movement to train your rectus abdominis, which is key for preventing excessive low back extension, or pretty much an excessive arch of your lower back, which can just put a lot of pressure on the joint and lead to a lot of lower back pain. So when you're getting set up into this movement, you're going to go elbows on the mat. You're going to have knees still on the ground. Legs are not fully straight, and you're going to tuck your pelvis to really engage your core. You're going to push your elbows into the floor so you're not sinking in your shoulders, and you're going to raise up. And then from here, you're going to think about pulling your elbows and your feet together just to create greater activation and tension within the core muscles. And you're pretty much going to hold here. Again, you can put weight on your back. And then one pro tip for this one is you're going to really engage your breathing. So you're going to take a big inhale to your nose for about 2 seconds. And then a big exhale out your mouth for 4. And as you exhale, really pressing your belly button to the ceiling. So you're just creating a lot of core activation, but really effective movement for both general population and runners to add into their training routine. And the take-home message for today's video is that you're going to want to really follow these principles as one, they're going to improve performance, they're going to reduce your risk of injury, and they're just going to help to boost up the overall quality of your life by just helping you feel better, helping you move with much more ease, and again, keeping that injury risk to a minimum so that you can just be the best version of yourself on a day-to-day basis. And if you like this video, definitely be sure to like it. You can share it. You can also subscribe to our channel so you can stay up to date on all the information that I'll be sharing. You can check out my website at hoodhealersorganics.com. I have a free newsletter that you can also sign up for. And if you would like more support along on your health journey, or maybe you're a runner, you want more support there, you can send me an email at Suleiman@hoodhealersorganics.com, and I would love to assist you on your journey. But that is episode 5 of our Philly 10K series. I will check y'all on the next one. Peace and love.